Welcome to Prophets of IT, the podcast where we sit down with the smartest people in IT and pull out insights to actually move the needle. I'm your host, Jim Punzenberger, founder and creator of ManageProspectingSystem.com and author of $0 Advertising Strategies. A quick word from our sponsor today. This episode is sponsored by ManageProspectingSystem.com, the proven three-pillar system that helps IT service organizations generate predictable leads through authority content, LinkedIn outreach, and personalized email campaigns. If you're done hoping the phone rings and ready for a real pipeline, head to ManageProspectingSystem.com after the show. All right, today's guest is one of those guys who's seen the industry from many angles. He's built his own MSP in Florida, exited, went to the enterprise side of the business, realized that wasn't for him, and came back to the SMB world where he belongs. Today, he's the managing partner of the technology division at Eakes, running their managed IT division, and turning it into a profitable enterprise in just 18 months. Ladies and gentlemen, John Watkins. John, welcome to Profits of IT, and say hi to the audience.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Jim, and hi, everybody. Excited to be here.
So, I like to say I love your walk-up song, Five Finger Death Punch. How did you come up with that as your walk-up song?
Honestly, it was just a frequent hit on my Spotify recently, so kind of felt appropriate. It's a good one to get woken up and get going in the morning.
It definitely gets you going. So, John, let's jump right into it with your truth bomb. This is where you challenge something the rest of the industry accepts without question. And John, you mentioned to me that from your former role as an MSP owner, you said the biggest misconception is that IT needs to be this overly complex web of technologies, and that's a misnomer. You want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, there's a trend in at least some components of our industry where some MSPs just want to sell their entire portfolio to every customer. Cross-sell, upsell opportunities are always great, but every time you introduce another product or another service, you have to secure those products and services. And a lot of times, especially with smaller MSPs, there's just not the bandwidth available to make sure all these independent services are properly secured, monitored, and managed. We take the approach of only installing and implementing what's really needed in the environment. Obviously, you have your cases that go across every customer, your EDR, MDR, MFA, all those kind of fun things. But you don't need to sell everything to every customer. It makes their environments more clunky. It makes supporting them more difficult. It takes more time for your engineers and technicians to work through those kinds of issues. Keep it simple. Make sure they're secure. Make sure it's auditable. Make sure everything is logged and managed properly, and have a good environment that just runs like a top.
That makes sense. Definitely, I think I've seen the same thing in my past life as an MSP owner myself. It's really, I believe, definitely in keeping things simple.
For sure.
Uh, so, John, let's talk about your superpower. And every guest that comes on, I ask about a superpower or basically a skill that you realized in your course of your career, and typically it's something that you excel at. And in this case, you said that um, you regularly hit the ground running, and not just in the technical side, but also being able to. I think you've mentioned that it's your your ability to keep calm when things aren't going the way expected. You want to touch more on that?
Of course. I started my journey as a technician, moved up to engineering and then into architecture on the cloud side of things. So I've done the job, right? You have to have that level of experience to understand that when things hit the fan, that you follow your processes, you follow the procedures, you take it step by step, you'll get through it. Issues happen, and there's definitely some engineers and even some MSPs that anytime anything happens, they are just as, say, excited or stressed or what have you about the issue as the customer is. That's a very stressful situation for the customer to be in. They don't understand the technical side. So when they see your MSP support team starting to freak out or lose their composure a little bit, it makes the situation all that much more scary for the customer. Obviously, you have to show the right urgency for the situation, but with our team, everyone's experienced. None of our engineers have less than 10 years of experience in an MSP role. So they've been through it. They understand that you work through the process, you'll come out the other side, and then retroactively we'll clean up and fix any kind of issues or root cause analysis, whatever we got to do there. But you got to keep your composure.
Yeah, it's when you're calm, the client remains calm, right?
That's the idea anyway. It doesn't always play out that way, but we're the experts. We got to make sure we're positioning ourselves and acting like.
That makes sense. So, John, let's switch gears here a moment and talk about what I like to call the $1 million learning moment. The lesson that cost you something real, a story about something that didn't go the way you expected it. And I think a lot of MSP owners are going to relate to you. You built an MSP in Florida, you exited, and then you went to the enterprise IT side, which seems like that was your $1 million learning moment. Want to talk more about that?
Sure. I've always been passionate about tech. It's always been the thing that excites me, even back in the school days. So the MSP back in Florida, that was a perfect growth opportunity. Started as an engineer there, worked up to a manager, and ended up exiting as an owner. And that was a huge experience for me. At the end of that adventure, I thought maybe we'll shift things up a little bit. I love tech. I understand IT. Let's try a bigger organization. So I went from a about 10 employee MSP down in Florida. I joined an $800 million, 450 employee enterprise up here in the Omaha area. And that was a heck of a transition. Uh, a very frustrating one from my point of view. I was coming from a place where, whether it was our internal environment or a customer's environment, if there's an issue, we just fix it. If there's a problem, we understand the root cause and we address that, whatever that may look like. On the enterprise side, there's a lot more red tape. That
Hmm.
ship is big and it takes a long time to move. There's a lot of office politics there too. I just want to, solve the issues, make sure that everybody's happy, and a 10-step process to get a $50 license approved was not a energizing activity for me, to say the least.
I
So
bet.
stuck that out for a little while. Really tried to make it happen. The tech side was very interesting. My team that I managed was fantastic. A lot of engineers, a lot smarter than I ever was. Just the rest of the package was a little bit too much for me. Wasn't really feeling like that was my fit, right? Uh, then luckily an opportunity opened up here at Eakes to build out an entire managed IT division, and I jumped at that.
I can relate. I myself, briefly worked in the corporate the world, and I quickly determined that the cubicle life just wasn't for me.
Yeah, open floor plans are the worst.
And also that in the corporate world, being entrepreneurial isn't rewarded. It's more of gotta fall in line uh, and not you know, not differ from the falling in line to what the your boss is you know says to do. You just have to do whatever they say.
Yep, got to accept the status quo and just ride within the lines. That's a frustrating point to be.
Well, John, before we go here, wanted to ask you about what's got you excited about what you're working on right now. And I've heard that you're maybe got a few things related to AI in the works.
Well, AI is the big name, big thing floating around our industry, right? Really, all industries. Um, we're taking a measured approach to that, but we are rolling out some tools. Obviously, the security stack has been using AI for years now. We're heavily investigating some quality of life improvement services, things like Thread, and then post that, we'll be looking into some kind of process automation, some RPA with PIA, which we're looking at specifically at the moment. We feel like those tools not only will improve our customer experience, get them information quicker, allow them a level of self-service with password resets and things like that, but it also helps our team. Thread specifically has a great interface that is, in my opinion, much better than the ConnectWise native interface. Has a lot of workflows and automations and AI bots in there that take care of a lot of more the tedious tasks that our engineers would have to do themselves previously. So that's a meaningful step on that AI direction. And then, of course, agentic AI, AI agents, we're using some of those internally, kind of testing out the processes, seeing where they do fit. Again, got to keep things simple. So if an agent isn't a good fit for a process improvement, then there's other ways to tackle that kind of thing. But there's a lot that those things can do. So we want to definitely explore that opportunity thoroughly.
And I also heard that you might be a bit of a car nerd and have hobbies that involve driving fast.
Yeah. Definitely from the Fast and Furious generation. Had that come out when I was like 12 or 13, something like that, and that definitely shaped my perspectives. Uh, Big into the JDM car scene. I have a Nissan Skyline R32 that I've been working on for a couple years, and then I have a WRX project that I'm building out for Rallycross, which I'm hoping to start again this next season. Had to take a season off for work reasons. It was a little bit too busy to get out and hit the track, but looking to get back into it this year.
Oh, it sounds like it'll be a fun season. Um, I'm a I love cars too, and especially my favorite. So they got the like NASCAR is a big thing, and but I grew up going to the open wheel tracks and
Oh yeah,
following open wheel. So um, I-
always a good time at the racetrack. Doesn't matter as long as it's got some wheels and it's going fast. It's a good event.
and yes, and up here around here, another big thing is running on the dirt. I know that what you're talking about is it sounds like on pavement, but um, I've also enjoyed watching cars run on dirt too. So. Um, Well, John, if any of this piqued a listener's attention and would like to learn more or get in touch with you, what would be a great way of doing that?
Uh, Best way would probably be LinkedIn. I believe, slash J Watkins dash MSP. Find me over there. Um, Definitely happy to expand my professional network, talk to other players in the game, see where everybody's at. Uh, Peer groups are fantastic. Having those kind of more one-on-one connections are also really good to have in this industry. You never know who may be able to help you or who you may be able to help. So definitely reach out.
Well, John, thank you for coming on today and thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate the invite.
And until next time, if you're a IT owner or executive looking to change inconsistent leads and flow to predictable revenue, check out manageprospectingsystem.com. And until next time, stay hydrated and caffeinated. Bye for now.
Thanks, Jim. Bye.